We live in a world where words travel faster than thought, and private matters are paraded as if they were trophies to be admired by strangers. Yet wisdom teaches us that not everything seen in the heart must be spoken with the mouth. Your personal life is the sanctuary of your soul. Once its walls are broken, you cannot easily rebuild them. To speak carelessly of what is intimate is to hand others the power to shape, distort, or even weaponize your truth. Every man and woman must understand this. The opinions of others are beyond our control, but the protection of our own affairs is within our grasp. Why then should we scatter our treasures before those who neither earn them nor cherish them? A seed once planted grows best in the soil hidden beneath the earth. So too does a plan, a dream, or a struggle flourish when shielded from the winds of gossip and the storms of envy. Silence is not weakness, it is strength. The one who speaks of everything, everywhere, lives as a prisoner to the reactions of the crowd. But the one who guards their story stands free, unmoved by praise or criticism. The world is quick to judge, slow to understand, and eager to misinterpret. Protecting your personal life is not secrecy born of fear, it is discretion born of wisdom. Ask yourself, what do you gain by public confession of every joy or sorrow? You may earn fleeting sympathy or shallow applause, but you also invite the weight of other people's judgments upon your shoulders. What you share may be used against you in a moment of malice or twisted beyond recognition. It is better, therefore, to keep the sacred chambers of your life known only to those who have proven their loyalty and earned your trust. Your personal life is your sanctuary. Protecting it preserves your peace and keeps others from having control over your narrative. Your personal life is the sanctuary of your soul, a place where your thoughts, emotions, and experiences dwell away from the noise and interference of the world. It is the inner chamber where you cultivate your values, make decisions, and reflect upon your path. To open this sacred place to all is to leave it vulnerable to intrusion, distortion, and harm. When you share the intimate details of your life with those who neither understand you nor value your privacy, you hand over pieces of yourself that cannot easily be reclaimed. What was once pure and whole becomes a subject of speculation, interpretation, and even manipulation in the hands of others. In this way, the peace you once had begins to crumble, not because of what you live, but because of how you have allowed others to live it with you uninvited. A wise person understands that control begins with boundaries. The world is filled with opinions that shift like the wind. If you let those opinions blow into the innermost parts of your life, they will scatter your focus and weaken your resolve. By keeping the details of your personal journey guarded, you protect not only your dignity but also your stability. People cannot attack what they do not know, and they cannot judge what they have not seen. When you speak too freely, you give them both the ammunition and the target. Silence, therefore, is not an act of cowardice, but a shield of self-preservation. In the modern world, the temptation to share everything is stronger than ever. We are surrounded by platforms and conversations that invite us to display our thoughts, relationships, struggles, and victories for all to see. But the more you expose, the more you lose the quiet strength that comes from walking your path unseen. The sanctuary of your personal life is not meant to be a public marketplace. It is a place where your thoughts can grow without the interference of doubt, where your plans can develop without the corruption of envy, and where your heart can heal without the intrusion of unnecessary voices. There is a kind of peace that comes only when you know that the deepest parts of your life are known only to you, and those you truly trust. In this peace, you are not swayed by the reactions of the crowd or the unpredictable judgment of strangers. You live from the inside out, guided by your own principles, not the approval of others. This is the essence of strength, to stand firm in who you are without feeling the need to seek validation from the outside world. Your personal life, guarded and respected, becomes the foundation upon which your resilience is built. Protect it and you protect yourself. Give it away carelessly and you risk losing the very essence of who you are. Discretion fosters growth just as seeds grow best when hidden beneath the soil. Your plans and struggles flourish when shielded from gossip and envy. Just as a seed requires the quiet darkness of the soil to germinate, so too do our plans, dreams, and personal struggles require the shelter of privacy to grow strong. When you expose a seed too soon, when you dig it up to show it to others before it has taken root, you destroy the very process that would have given it life. In the same way, revealing your aspirations or personal battles prematurely exposes them to the harsh elements of gossip, skepticism, and envy. Not everyone will understand your vision, and fewer still will support it without self-interest. Many will doubt it, some will criticize it, and others may subtly undermine it. But when you keep it within the guarded soil of your own heart, it has the chance to develop without disturbance, to gather strength before meeting the world. Discretion is not secrecy born from fear, it is wisdom born from experience. You may think that sharing your ideas or struggles with others will gain you encouragement or guidance, but often it only invites opinions that cloud your clarity. Too many voices in your ear can make you lose the sound of your own reasoning. Your resolve, like a young plant, is fragile at the start. It needs the warmth of your commitment, the water of your daily effort, and the time to grow without being pulled apart by competing influences. Those who rush to show their work before it is ready often find themselves discouraged, abandoned, or even betrayed. There is also the subtle poison of envy, which can work silently in the hearts of others. You may believe your news will inspire them, yet it may awaken in them a desire to see you fail. Such is human nature. Some rejoice at your success, but others conceal their resentment behind polite words. Envy may cause people to sabotage your plans indirectly, planting seeds of doubt or withholding support when you need it most. By keeping your matters private until they are established, you avoid these unnecessary battles. Even struggles, when shared prematurely, can lose the strength of your own resilience. When you speak of your hardships too freely, you may begin to depend on the sympathy of others rather than building the inner fortitude needed to endure and overcome. Strength grows best in silence. It is in solitude that we test our patience, refine our endurance, and deepen our understanding of ourselves. When we emerge from that hidden work, we are not only stronger but unshakable, because our growth came from within and not from the fleeting support of the crowd. Let your life's seeds remain buried until they are ready to bear fruit. When they finally emerge, let them be so strong and rooted that no storm of criticism, no wind of envy can uproot them. Privacy is the soil in which lasting strength is born. Silence is strength. Withholding unnecessary details keeps you free from the reactions, judgments, and misunderstandings of others. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness, but in truth, it is one of the greatest forms of strength a person can possess. The ability to remain quiet in a world that demands you speak, explain, and expose yourself is a discipline that few master. Words once spoken cannot be taken back, and every detail you share becomes a thread in the hands of others, ready to be woven into stories you never intended. By choosing silence when unnecessary to speak, you keep your life free from the chains of public opinion. You are no longer at the mercy of the praise or condemnation of others because you have not given them anything to judge. This is not the withdrawal of the timid. It is the deliberate restraint of the wise. When you speak of everything, everywhere, you become a prisoner of the reactions of the crowd. Their approval lifts you, and their disapproval crushes you, making you dependent on forces you cannot control. But when you guard your words, you remain unmoved by their ever-changing moods. You no longer seek validation from the outside because you are anchored within. The person who has learned the value of silence walks through the noise of the world untouched. Because they are not competing to be heard, they are living to be true. In silence, you are free to listen not only to others, but to yourself. Most people speak more than they think, rushing to fill the air with words out of discomfort or habit. Yet silence creates space for thought, for clarity, for perspective. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, you begin to see who truly understands you without words. Those are the ones worth keeping close. The rest are only drawn to the noise, not the substance. The disciplined tongue is a guard over the heart. It prevents careless words from slipping out in moments of emotion, words that could wound relationships, damage reputations, or expose vulnerabilities. It allows you to act from reason rather than impulse. In this way, silence becomes a shield, protecting you from the unpredictable consequences of speaking too soon or too much. There is also a quiet power in being unpredictable. When you say little, others cannot easily read your intentions or anticipate your moves. They cannot manipulate what they do not understand. In contrast, those who speak without restraint reveal their weaknesses as easily as their strengths, giving others the tools to influence or harm them. Choosing silence is not about withholding truth when it is necessary to speak. It is about discerning when words will serve you and when they will betray you. It is knowing that not every thought must be voiced, not every plan must be shared, and not every feeling must be announced. In silence, you preserve your power, and in preserving your power, you remain free. Oversharing invites risk. Publicly revealing joys or struggles can lead to misinterpretation, exploitation, or harm. Oversharing is a doorway to unnecessary risk, and many walk through it without realizing the cost until it is too late. When you reveal the intimate details of your life to people who have not earned your trust, you invite their judgments, assumptions, and in some cases, their malice. Not everyone who listens to you listens with goodwill. Some listen to compare, others to criticize, and a few to collect your words for use against you when the moment suits them. What may seem like an innocent confession can become a weapon in the wrong hands, and once your words leave your lips, you cannot retrieve or control them. When you speak of your joys openly, you may imagine you are spreading positivity, yet you also expose yourself to envy. Even those who smile at your good news may harbor quiet resentment, wishing that what you have belonged to them instead. Envy, though often hidden, can manifest in subtle sabotage, cold withdrawal, or calculated attempts to diminish your achievements. Likewise, when you share your struggles with too wide an audience, you risk attracting not empathy, but exploitation. There are those who will use your vulnerability to manipulate you, to make you dependent on them, or to position themselves above you. Every revelation carries a consequence, and while some consequences are harmless, others can follow you for years. The casual remark you make today might resurface in a twisted form tomorrow, retold to someone with no understanding of the truth. This is the nature of human conversation once released. Your story no longer belongs to you. People will add to it, reshape it, and pass it on until it bears little resemblance to what you originally said. There is also the danger of weakening your own resolve. When you speak of your goals too soon, you may feel a false sense of accomplishment simply from announcing them. This illusion can drain the motivation needed to bring them to completion. Similarly, when you make your struggles public, you may begin to rely too heavily on the sympathy of others, instead of building the inner strength necessary to endure them. Public attention, whether positive or negative, can shift your focus away from the work itself and onto managing the perceptions of others. To protect yourself from these risks, you must learn to measure your words as carefully as you would guard your most valuable possessions. Ask yourself before speaking, does this person need to know? Will sharing this serve my purpose or endanger it? Will it strengthen my position or weaken it? These questions, asked in moments of temptation to overshare, can prevent a lifetime of regret. It is far better to be underestimated because you have revealed little than to be undermined because you have revealed too much. In keeping your personal life private, you ensure that your joys remain pure, your struggles remain your own to conquer, and your path remains free from unnecessary interference. Guarding your privacy is wisdom. Only those who have proven loyalty and trustworthiness should be granted access to the sacred details of your life. Guarding your privacy is not an act of mistrust toward the world, but a conscious choice to protect the sanctity of your life. The most sacred parts of who you are, your deepest thoughts, your most intimate experiences, and your true intentions are not meant for public consumption. They are treasures, and treasures must be entrusted only to those who have proven themselves worthy. Trust is not freely given. It is earned through time, consistency, and loyalty. Those who have shown themselves to be dependable in small things may be entrusted with greater ones, but even then, wisdom teaches that some matters belong to you alone. When you limit access to the inner details of your life, you preserve your strength. You remain the master of your own story, telling it when and how you choose. The moment you give that control away, you become vulnerable to misrepresentation. Even well-meaning people can misunderstand your intentions or pass along your words without the care you would take. What is shared in trust can easily become the subject of casual conversation, and what you meant to be private can become public with astonishing speed. There is also a dignity in being reserved. When others see that you do not speak freely to everyone, they come to respect your boundaries. They understand that your trust is valuable and that gaining it requires honor and loyalty. Those who respect you will not demand to know every detail of your life, and those who insist on it reveal themselves as unworthy of your confidence. In this way, guarding your privacy not only protects you from harm, but also reveals the character of those around you. Keeping your personal life private also spares you from the weight of unnecessary interference. Once people know the intimate details of your affairs, they will feel entitled to comment, advise, and judge. Some may try to influence your decisions, while others may use what they know to sway outcomes in their favor. But when those details remain yours alone, you act without the noise of countless opinions pulling you in different directions. Your mind remains clear, your focus sharp, and your actions guided by your own reason rather than the shifting preferences of others. The wisdom of guarding your privacy lies in recognizing that not every truth must be spoken and not every event must be shared. Life is richer when some parts are kept for yourself, when the world sees the results of your labor, but not the struggles and sacrifices that brought you there. In this way, you protect your peace, preserve your dignity, and keep your power intact. To live this way is to live with intention, knowing that your life belongs first to you, and only then, in measured trust, to those who have earned the right to share in it.